Hi guys, some months back Nigel Farage came out and said it. Brexit has failed. Now we must remember he made a promise a number of years ago that he would leave Britain if Brexit turned out badly, but he's still in the United Kingdom complaining about stuff. The director of UK in a Changing Europe, Anand Menon, explained to the Brexiteer how there is less and less support for the UK position outside the EU. But there is still a section of the Brexit voting public who believe that things could have worked out better. Farage, of course, includes himself in that group, but there are a few problems with such a position. Have a listen.
I think only 18% of Leave voters now say that they're happy with the way Brexit has gone. A lot of Leave voters think that Brexit has been damaging to the economy, but most Leave voters think there was a way it could have been made to work, and they blame government for not making it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've got to tell you, I am firmly myself in that camp and have been feeling that way for a very, very long time.
Okay, so the 18% that was pointed out here who still believe that Brexit was a good idea, we can forget about that group of people because they are beyond the pale. They are, they will never be convinced that Brexit was a mistake. If at this stage, while they're looking at staff shortages, they're looking at problems for businesses to import and to export, they're looking at the economy, these people will never be convinced that Brexit was a mistake. So we can forget about that 18% who voted for Brexit and still think it's a good idea. More concerning is the majority here that was pointed out that believe that Brexit could have been a success, but the problem is the Tory party and the Tory government. They've messed things up. Or that it could have been a success, but it's the fault of Remainers in Parliament or bureaucrats as part of the blob. So this is concerning because it's a lie, of course. The people in charge are the ones who delivered Brexit. Boris Johnson was thrust into number 10 because of Brexit. We needed to vote for Boris in order to get Brexit done. So, that was a lie. But also this idea that what was on the table at the time was either a no-deal Brexit or Boris Johnson's, deal Brexit, or whatever way you want to put it. But the no-deal Brexit would have resulted not in non-tariff barriers, but tariff barriers. The level of paperwork that Britain is facing at the moment would be, doubled or quadrupled. Because if the UK had left without a deal, the amount of paperwork and problems as a consequence of Brexit would be much greater. Now, I never believed that the UK would leave without a deal because it would have been just too insane. There was the issue of Northern Ireland to be sorted out. So it was never really a reality. It was a fantasy of the ERG and people like Nigel Farage. And I think deep down, they understood that there was going to be a deal, but they had to keep the public on board, keep them on their toes, believing that there was still an option, that the UK was in a position to negotiate as an even partner for some sort of deal. But also a no-deal Brexit had to be kept in the background as some sort of bargaining chip. It was no bargaining chip. Both sides knew they weren't going to leave without a deal. But once again, we're back to the main point here. A significant number of Leave voters believe that Brexit could have been a success if the right people were in charge. Now, how can Farage use this to his advantage? Well, he can turn around and say, well, if I was in power, then I would actually take advantage of Brexit. I would actually deliver the Brexit benefits. The Tories aren't doing it because they're not interested, or they didn't really believe in Brexit, or they're hamstrung by the civil service or by Parliament or something. But if I was in charge, then I would deliver a real Brexit, a Brexit that would be a success. And unfortunately, it seems a significant number of people would probably buy into that. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.